I'm all set now. Following that courtroom session, my boy, his spouse, and their trio of attorneys stripped me bare of all I had. Every syllable from Robert that afternoon sticks with me, as he faced the magistrate with an icy gaze I'd never seen before. "You don't merit a thing, you greedy elder," he murmured in a deliberate, hushed tone, like he'd practiced it endlessly. Patricia stood next to him, her limbs folded, wearing that faint grin that sent shivers through me. The legal team tidied their files on the desk, content with their victory. They'd triumphed. I'd been defeated entirely. The home where I'd nurtured Robert, 3 decades of earnings from my job, the savings I'd tucked away for my later years, gone. The magistrate inked the forms without meeting my gaze. All I managed was to perch on that stiff, chilly seat, sensing my existence shatter quietly. I exited that building clueless about my next move. Truly, no spot awaited my return. I wandered for ages, my worn handbag slung over my arm, each stride pulling me farther from the person I'd been. Theresa Miller, age 62, bereaved spouse, parent, now zilch. That evening, I rested on a public seat, not by choice, but out of necessity. And here, after 6 weeks, I crouch in a nook, sifting through garbage for discarded tins to trade. My fingers shake while sorting metal from synthetic. Is it the brisk dawn breeze? Or the emptiness in my belly after 3 days without food? Perhaps it's the embarrassment. That scorching humiliation whenever passers-by avert their eyes. These garments have clung to me for a fortnight. They reek of moisture, of the pavement, of surrender. I doze in a deserted entryway by the village plaza. How fitting. The very spot where I'd stroll with Robert as a child. Nowadays, I slumber mere streets from the residence that once belonged to me, the one he seized. At times, I ponder how I landed in this mess, how the lad I'd spoon, feed during illnesses morphed into the guy who abandoned me to the curb. How my entire foundation crumbled in one trial. But dwelling on those queries serves no purpose anymore. This is my truth-gathering containers for a slice of bread, bedding down on concrete, fading into the background. I stuff the tins into a ripped sack I scavenged recently. There's a tear at the edge, but it holds up. I shuffle toward the reuse hub. My soles ache. These tattered footwear pinch with every contact on the asphalt. Yet I press on, since that's my only option. Persist. The fellow at the hub barely glances up as I pass over the items. He tallies quietly, hands me a handful of bucks, and waves me off. No gratitude, no words at all. To him, I'm just another face. A senior lady scavenging refuse. Unremarkable, insignificant. I snag a partial roll from the nearby shop. The clerk eyes me with sympathy but stays mute. She passes the wrapped item, and I dart out. I loathe that gaze, that quiet mercy that shrinks me further. I settle in the plaza on the same seat from my initial night. I nibble gradually, relishing each morsel, unsure of my next meal. As daylight fades, the area buzzes with folks heading home from jobs. Households, pairs, kids dashing about, all have destinations, except me. I shut my lids briefly and inhale deeply. The crisp twilight breeze expands my chest. I attempt to recall my former routine, rising in my own sheets, brewing Java in my familiar space, lounging in my den for shows. But those recollections sting. They wound because they're no longer mine. Robert claimed them all. He rests in my bedding now. He sips Java in my cooking area. He enjoys the existence I crafted, and here I sit. I snap my eyes open at nearing footfalls. A gentleman approaches. He's in a somber outfit, crisply ironed, with a binder tucked under his limb. He halts before me, his face holding an unreadable look. Not sorrow, not disdain. Something akin to acknowledgement. "Pardon me," he utters in a steady yet warm manner. "You're Theresa Miller." My pulse halts momentarily. Nobody's addressed me properly in weeks. Nobody's met my stare like I'm substantial. I regard him silently, baffled, even wary. Who is this individual? What does he seek? I dip my head gradually, at a loss for alternatives. He draws a breath, as if bracing for weighty news. He unfolds the binder and extracts a pristine, sealed packet. He extends it gently. "Mrs. Miller, I'm Isaac Gale, a legal advisor. I've hunted for you these past 3 weeks. 3 weeks. He regards me closely, then delivers words that lock my frame. Your sibling departed 2 months back, and he bequeathed you items. A grand estate worth $30 million, plus a $20 million in funds. Reality halts. I struggle for air. I can't process the 20 million, a grand home, my sibling, the one absent from my life for over 15 years, the one who vanished without return. But there's a stipulation. The advisor proceeds, his tone growing grave. A precise requirement you need to meet for the bequest. And trust me, Mrs. Miller, this requirement will alter all. My palms quiver as I accept the packet. I unseal it cautiously, with trepidation, with optimism, with a spark I hadn't sensed in ages. Something resembling vitality. I withdraw the note within. The script is my siblings. I spot it instantly. And as I scan, I sense an inner part, believed extinct, stirring awake. That afternoon marked the shift before chaos ensued. I'd led an uncomplicated existence. No extravagance, no flair, but it was mine. I owned my dwelling, my habits, my quiet joys. I'd rise at dawn, prepare Java in the area I knew instinctively, and draw the drapes for sunlight. That place wasn't vast, but I'd earned it through labor. Years of toil and concessions. I'd resided there 35 years, initially with my partner, Robert, until cardiac failure claimed him, when our son was merely 8. Then solo with my child, guiding him, offering all possible. I'd served as an admin in a finance firm for 25 years. Pay wasn't grand, but it sufficed. It always did, since I mastered budgeting. I stretched each cent. Robert matured in that abode. He took first steps there, marked every milestone there, prepared for tests there. I observed his growth with joy. He seemed decent, dependable, warm, or that's what I perceived. Perhaps I viewed only what suited me. Maybe guardians are eternally oblivious regarding their offspring. When Robert hit 30, he encountered Patricia. She appeared at our door one day, clasping my boy's hand with an impeccable beam and lavish attire. Too lavish for a supposed shop worker. She claimed managerial role, but her gaze hinted otherwise. A chill there, a drive I couldn't label. Initially, I aimed for warmth. I sought to embrace her. Robert appeared content, and that counted, didn't it? But Patricia began altering elements, minor at first. Remarks, hints. Theresa, isn't this place too dated for you solo? Theresa, Robert frets over your money matters. Perhaps allow him to assist. Theresa, in your years, you ought to relax, not toil so fiercely. I missed her intent. I assumed concern. How foolish. A year post-meeting, they wed. A modest ceremony in a leased venue. I covered half. Robert pleaded with that familiar expression from youth, the one that softened me. Mom, only this time. I'll reimburse, I vow. He never did. But then, it didn't matter. It was my child's union, my sole offspring. Post-nuptials, shifts accelerated. Patricia swayed Robert toward needing independence. I concurred. Logical for fresh pairs. But then came the drop-ins, grave talks, offers. Mom, Patricia and I figure this space is oversized for you. 3 rooms, yet you occupy 1. Wouldn't selling for a cozier flat suit better, simpler upkeep? I declined. That dwelling was mine. It held remnants of my shared life with my spouse, where my recollections flourished. No sale. Then they pivoted to slyer tactics, riskier. Mom, in your stage, organize documents. If illness strikes, if mishap occurs, grant me authority legally, just to safeguard, ensure stability. He voiced it with apparent care, feigned gentleness. I nearly trusted, nearly. But instinct wavered. Something urged against signing, so I promised consideration. Needed time. That irked them. I noted it in Patricia's demeanor. Her facade of niceness splintered briefly, revealing fury, eagerness, sheer greed. Yet they persisted, week by week, call by call, until Robert showed with 3 suited gents. Claimed they were experts to aid my money setup, secure holdings. Mere routine, Mom. Sign some forms. For your benefit. I was exhausted, drained from resisting, weary of solitude, tired of being viewed as a barrier. Thus, I inked. Without thorough review, trusting my offspring, believing he'd never wound me. What an error. A grave blunder. 2 months on, a judicial notice arrived. Bewildered, frightened, I phoned Robert. He soothed. No fret, I'll handle. Just attend the session, all good. But nothing aligned. At the proceeding, I entered unaccompanied. Robert was present, but opposite. With Patricia, the trio of experts, they eyed me like an outsider, an adversary. The magistrate recited papers, spoke of cognitive decline, fiscal mismanagement, terms I'd allegedly endorsed, terms shifting all to Robert. My abode, reserves, all. I attempted defense, explained misunderstanding, deception. But my tone faltered, fractured, unheard, unbelieved. Verdict all to Robert Miller. 2 weeks to exit. 2 weeks to vanish from my reality. I sought in my boy some echo of the child I'd fostered, some regret, hesitation, compassion. Found only that barren glare. Then he whispered clearly, "You don't merit a thing, you greedy elder." Patricia beamed. Experts sealed binders. I lingered seated, my universe fracturing. Exited that hall directionless. Roamed hours without no refuge. Contacted Pauls, contacts, excuses abounded. All occupied. All vanished in my direst hour. That night a seat, subsequent ones too, till days blurred, pavement my soul haven. Now, 6 weeks hence, I clutch this note in shaky grasp. From my sibling, who departed 15 years prior after a rift unresolved, who amassed wealth as I toiled, who evidently remembered me. Reading his penned lines, I sense a revival, aspiration, equity. Perhaps this isn't concluded. The note quivers in my grip. I fixate on my sibling's penmanship, that tilted, bold style unmistakable. 15 years since our final exchange. 15 since that foolish clash that parted us eternally. Or so I believed. The advisor, Isaac Gale, perches beside on the seat. He remains quiet briefly, merely observes my perusal. The opening sentence strikes like a gut blow. "Theresa, if this reaches you, I'm departed, and they've located you." My vision blurs with moisture, uncontrollable. My siblings gone. Mark, my junior kin, the kid I minded when folks labored late. The defiant youth who fled at 18. The adult who prospered in property and never glanced my way. I proceed, each term a strike, each line a cue of our losses. I recognize our silence spanned years. I failed you, when you required me utmost, absent. But grasp this, Theresa, you lingered in my thoughts daily. I monitored your path remotely, knew of your bereavement, knew Robert's maturation, knew your exhaustion providing for that lad, and knew when that lad turned on you. I inhale sharply. How aware, how informed of Robert's actions. Hired Slith 6 months back, the note resumes. Upon learning my ailment, my limited span, I verified your welfare. Discoveries infuriated, shattered me. My kin, your nurtured child, schemed your ruin, and I couldn't intervene timely. Pardon that, kin. Pardon my delay. Drops stain the sheet. Indifferent, I continue. Hence, precise directives. I bestow all the estate beyond town, 30 million in holdings, the 20 million liquid in shares. Yours entirely, Theresa. Yet one prerequisite to claim. The note halts. I eye the advisor, puzzled. He affirms, extracts another form. The stipulations detailed here, Mrs. Miller. He states solemnly. Your kin was explicit. Claim full bequest, but reside in the estate 3 months, 90 precise days, uninterrupted, unwavering. Meanwhile, compile verified proof of your boy's deeds, each inked form, every ruse, every falsehood. Your kin desired arming you for defense, reclaiming yours, unveiling facts. I fall mute. Overwhelmed. 3 months in luxury, amassing against Robert. Why? To challenge him. To dismantle him, I mutter hoarsely. Why impose this? Why not simply grant and conclude? Isaac regards with empathy. Because he understood you, Mrs. Miller. Knew vengeance isn't your path. Knew you'd absolve your boy instantly. Knew post-betrayal, you'd shield him still. This forces truth facing, dignity restoration. His insight cuts deep, accurate. I'd pardon Robert regardless. Nights outdoors, starvation, degradation, since I'm his guardian, and guardians pardon eternally. But inwardly, something coils shadowy, nurtured in 6 weeks forsakenness, bordering fury. And refusal, I inquire. If I skip the term. Isaac exhales, then assets to causes. You gain naught. Your kin specified that firmly. Accept or forfeit. I scan the note anew. View my soiled palms, chipped claws, garb reeking destitution. The sack of tins nearby. The seat my bed for weeks. Then the advisor. Suppose evidence lacks, if records vanished. Your kin anticipated, Isaac responds. Pre-departure, he enlisted detectives. Duplicates, tapes, accounts secured in the estate's vault. Merely examine, arrange, comprehend, then choose application. Choose application. Phrases resonate. Mark offers choice chance, not mere funds shelter, to reclaim voice, verity, fairness. Yet terror grips, immobilizing. What if incapable? If proof shatters utterly? If facing Robert fragments remnants? Unsure of strength, I confess softly. Isaac's palm on my arm, tender humane, ages since kind contact, nearly weep. Mrs. Miller, Your kin added a final note, perhaps read now. He passes the closing page. I peruse through haze. Theresa, if wavering fearful, recall, you're the toughest I knew. Dad's passing at your 16, you parented me. Mom's illness, you labored days. Tended nights, voiceless. Spouse's loss, you rose for your boy. That fortitude endures, kin, merely dormant. Awaken it. Not vengeance, not spite, but for you. You merit it. Your existence warrants battle. Always did. Love you, Theresa. Regret unsaid in life. Your call yield or rise once more. I seal lids. Inhale profoundly. Chilly dusk air swells lungs. Plaza sounds youth chuckles. Avian tunes, existence unfolding, mine included. Yet. I unveil eyes, meet Isaac. I agree. I declare. Tone steadier than anticipated. I'll fulfill. The advisor grins truly eased. Then onward, Mrs. Miller. To your interim abode. He aids my rise. Limbs wobble but I balance. I grasp my tin sack. Isaac quirks leave it. No, I counter. Reminds my origins, endurance. Retain it. We head to a sleek vehicle nearby. Polished, pristine, my antithesis. Yet Isaac opens without pause, no scorn. Awaits my entry. I settle rear. Plush, easing. Scent of fresh hide. Lids shut briefly, inner shift commences. Not full optimism, but a glimmer, akin to potential. Vehicle ignites. We depart plaza. Seat, tins, 6-week ordeal. Through glass, city blurs paths scavenge for sustenance. Nooks slept, sights of invisibility. Unaware that choice would transform all, I murmur inwardly. Yet somehow, I sensed. Vehicle navigates unfamiliar routes. We abandon downtown, aged structures, fractured walks of recent days. Scenery evolves, residences expand, lawns lusher, barriers higher. Alien realm, never mine. Isaac steers quietly, sporadically mirrors me, confirming presence. Heart races quicker, anxious, terrified. Unclear expectations. Half-hour later, private lane. Ebony metal barrier with locks. Isaac codes, it parts leisurely. Inside it emerges. The grand home. Vast. Triple levels of pale rock, vast panes. 4-yard fountains, manicured foliage. Path of ivory stones gleaming midday. Broad steps to entry, sturdy timber with etchings. Unbelievable. My kin resided here. Same mark from our cramped 2-room youth. Shared space from scarcity. Now this grandeur. Welcome to your short-term heaven, Mrs. Isaac announces, halting before steps. I disembark gradually. Limbs scarce hold. Gaze upward at panes, verandas. Overwhelming. All excessive. Brother alone here, I query. Final 5 years, yes, Isaac affirms. Post, spouse's passing, no remarriage. Childless. This was sanctuary, labor, now yours. We ascend steps jointly. Each tread burdens me. As we approach the entrance, Isaac pulls out a ring of keys and passes them over. These belong to you now? The main door, the office, the sleeping quarters, all of it. I grasp them with shaky fingers. They're solid, substantial. This is happening. I unlock the door, and we step in. The inside takes my breath away even more. The entry hall stretches wide with polished stone underfoot and a sweeping staircase curving up to the next level. Artwork lines the walls, sparkling fixtures dangle from above, and refined pieces fill the space. It's spotless, orderly, like the place is still occupied. A cleaner stops by twice weekly, Isaac mentions. She'll keep coming over the next 3 months. There's a landscaper too, and a chef if you ask for one. It's all covered, all set up. Your role is just to remain here and meet the requirement. He leads me through the place. We move past the grand sitting area, vast with plush seating and a rock hearth. Next, the cooking space, sleek with gadgets straight from a glossy spread. The eating area holds a spread for a dozen. The book room brims with volumes stacked high. Your sibling's workspace is upstairs, Isaac notes as we climb. That's the spot for the vault, where you'll get what you require. My pulse quickens with each rise. We arrive at a lengthy corridor lined with entries. Isaac swings open one toward the rear. It's a roomy office with panes gazing out to the rear grounds. A deep-toned timber workstation sits central. Racks hold tidy files, and against the far side, a secured compartment blends into the paneling. The code's in here, Isaac says, offering another closed packet. Within, you'll uncover all the sleuths assembled, forms, tapes, snapshots, the full picture of how your boy orchestrated this. I accept the packet but hold off on tearing it open. Not quite prepared. When should I begin? I inquire. At your pace. You've got 90 full days from tomorrow. Use whatever span you need to sift through. Absorb it, Figure your next move. I dip my head quietly. Isaac eyes me with a touch of worry. Mrs. Miller, one more detail I must share. What's that? Your boy is aware of the bequest already. Time halts. A chill runs through me. Pardon? Robert Miller launched a challenge 3 days back to void the testament. He claims your sibling lacked sound mind when drafting it, was coerced, that the assets ought to flow to closest kin. Him, as the nephew, heir escapes me. Naturally, Robert would attempt this. Naturally, he'd aim to snatch even this away. And could he succeed? I question, tone unsteady. Might he strip this from me? No chance, Isaac states solidly. Your sibling's directive stands firm. Drafted with a trio of attorneys on hand. Health assessments confirm Mark's full awareness. Plus safeguards against such disputes. Still, expect persistence from your boy. We might spot him showing up soon. My knees buckle. I drop into the workstation seat and seal my lids. I can't handle this, I murmur. Can't confront him. Can't lay eyes on him once more. You can, Isaac assures gently yet steadily. And you will, since now you're supported. Now you hold means. Legal backing. Facts in your corner, and one element your boy lacks forever. What's that? Character. I lift my gaze to meet his. He meets it steadily. Your sibling shared plenty about you pre-passing. Mrs. Miller, he described you as the truest soul he'd encountered. No easy paths for you. Always the honorable route, no matter the price. That's his faith in you. That's why this came your way. He believed you'd handle it rightly, wouldn't twist it. Would stay true to yourself. His phrases strike deep. Moisture wells up again. But I rein it in. Enough weeping. Time for resilience. What's my step now? I probe. Unwend today. Clean up, grab a bite, rest in proper bedding. Tomorrow, dive into the materials. I'll check back day after next on progress. Here's my contact. Reach out anytime, for whatever. He extends his info. I pocket it. Isaac bids farewell with a firm grip and departs. His footfalls fade down the steps. The entry shuts. The vehicle recedes. Then solitude envelops me. Solo in this vast dwelling. Solo with my reflections. Solo with this shot I question deserving. I rise gradually and wander the office. My fingertips brush the tomes on the ledges. I study the images mounted. One captures Mark youthful beaming. So like the lad from memory.